People would say I was selfish for spending time in the gym.
They basically said to me that I would never be able to play rugby ever again.
I had a lot of comments from people being like, let's see how long this lasts.
That was the first time in my entire life where I cried.
Hi, I'm Aisel.
My name's Andrea Kyriakou.
My name is Majid, Emirati, born and raised in Dubai.
Matthew Putner, or most people call me Putes.
After having my third baby, all my children are IVF. And for me to be able to have my kids, I had to do a lot of medication, which then led to me gaining a lot of weight. I actually ended up gaining around 8 to 10 kg before I even got pregnant. And then obviously by the time I got pregnant, I gained even more weight. I wasn't happy with myself. So deep down I knew that I wanted to do something about it. And that's when it all started.
I grew up playing rugby, and then growing up in Wales, it's kind of compulsory that you have to play rugby. So I've been playing rugby since I was around 6. And I played at the top level rugby for around 10, 11 years until I was 26.
I've been overweight my whole life. And during COVID, it was my time to really just reflect on my life. I was 35 kilos heavier. I was always worried about leaving the house, what we were going to do, how far I had to walk. I was always out of breath just walking down the street. This is when I decided I really wanted to change my life. I knew nothing, absolutely nothing about fitness.
Since I was a child, sport wasn't just a passion. I used it as a tool, not to compete with others, but I always wanted to compete with myself. And it took me 15 years to grow the person I am today. Ministry of Defense, they decided to create a team. That team, their aim was just to peak every mountain in the world. I decided to join that team, and I've summited 15 mountains around the world.
Some of my friends wouldn't understand why I would spend so much time on me or going to the gym. Some people would even actually tell me and say that I was being very selfish. They couldn't understand why I wouldn't spend more time with my kids. And for me, it was really hard to accept because I was going to the gym to focus on me and what was best for me to be a better mom.
I don't want to get too upset, you know. Wow, where's the tissues? Unfortunately then, at the age of 26, I did have quite a nasty brain injury. And they basically said to me there and then that the decision's been made that I would never be able to play rugby ever again. I remember I was actually told on my birthday. My ears were ringing, you know. I was just kind of shocked, and then I didn't really listen to anything else that they said after that. And then I left, and I didn't actually tell anyone for around 2 weeks. Everything I did every single day, I woke up, I lived and I breathed rugby. And then all of a sudden, to have to stop, it was really tough.
I've dealt with in-person bullying, I've dealt with online bullying, family, friends being like, let's see how long this lasts. Obviously, I had a lot of self-doubt, but it was about picking my hard. Stick with the hard struggles I have now of being unhappy with how I look, not being able to leave the house, not being able to walk 5 minutes down the street, or be uncomfortable in the gym. Be a little bit hungry with my calorie deficit, which again, it is a struggle. Losing weight is not easy, but I just had to pick which hard was going to be the best for me. And so I chose the healthy lifestyle and fitness and never looked back.
To do Mount Kilimanjaro, we were training for that peak for nearly 6 months, and it took us 21 days to summit Mount Kilimanjaro. 21 days of carrying our own food, carrying our own tents, essentials, everything. After 20 days of hiking and camping, 2 days before summiting, where I was just walking around, a small rock, and I actually still have that rock with me, where I twisted my ankle. That made me sit and realize training is not only physical. There is a mental part to it. You cannot train your brain until you go through it. It was the hardest decision that I've ever took in my entire life, where I decided I will not go. Like, I've trained my body to summit that mountain that I can actually see. But I didn't train my mind to say, no, you're not summiting, you're going back. So when it happened at that moment, I literally cried.
I don't know why I'm getting emotional. I would say the girl 5 years ago, sorry. She was very self-conscious, doubted herself in everything she did, had no confidence in herself whatsoever. She was just kind of sad, like she was just sad, really. The girl now, much more confident, much more stronger-willed. I think just generally, just more confident in everything she does. Nothing to do with fitness-wise, just everything, like with work, with kind of standing my ground, like not being such a massive people pleaser anymore, just really kind of owning everything she does, really.
If I showed you a picture of me 6 years ago and me now, I don't even think you would believe it's the same person. It's taught me to be patient in a different way. I used to give up easily. Like whenever I had something I wanted to do and whenever I struggled, I used to give up. Where now I feel like I'm more patient with the whole thing. I know I can push myself harder. I am way stronger than I used to be.
I felt like for a long time I lost my purpose in life. So then I sort of rediscovered a lot of the same things that I would get from rugby in other sports and fitness. So I kind of found the buzz again. And the beautiful thing was I could do it without potentially hurting my brain further. I'd like to think that my purpose now is bringing a small taste of the great experiences that I had through my professional rugby career to as many people as I can. If I can give them the primal race, which is a functional fitness race that we've sort of developed over the last couple of years, you know, it's tough, it's challenging, it's really, really hard physically, mentally, emotionally. Just gives you that little bit of a purpose. It gives you that reason to get up, go to the gym, do something that's healthy for you, physically and mentally. So I guess that's kind of my purpose now.
Before I did the Kilimanjaro trip and the injury incident happened, I always looked at injuries as a negative thing that might happen to a person. But after that incident, I kind of look at injuries or setbacks, let's say, as a positive thing that a person might go through. If I want to train my body, I can go to the gym, lift heavy weights, so my muscle becomes stronger. If an injury occurs or a setback, that's actually making my personality, I would say, even stronger for next time. If this happens again, I'll be like, I've been through this before. So I know how to attack it or deal with it.
So I sort of discovered Squatwolf when I came to Dubai. Like obviously Squatwolf's a huge brand here. They've made a huge impact here. It looks really good. They've got huge variety. The colors, I like the colors. I mean, I'm talking about colors like as if I know. I just wear black, so. So I love the plain black shorts that they do. I think they're really simple. They fit really well. You can move really well in them. So they're translatable for a number of other sports. My relationship then specifically with Squatwolf sort of was taken to another level when we started working with them with the Primal Race. I think there's huge synergy between both brands. Like the Primal Race is cinematic, it's dynamic, it's gritty. And I think that obviously Squatwolf there shares a lot of those attributes as well.
I do a lot of CrossFit. So for me, I look for a sports bra that's very supportive, but when I do bodybuilding, it's completely different. But I actually think that this sport bra was really good for both kind of exercises. I look for something that I feel comfortable in, something that's supportive, something I feel confident in as well. And I definitely think Squatwolf has those three.
In my first visit to Dubai for the first time, I forgot to bring any activewear with me. So I went to the mall and I saw Squatwolf just hanging up in the shop, and I thought, oh, I've never seen this brand before. They had two really bright pair of leggings. It was a bright blue pair and a bright orange pair. Like, I remember to this day. That's kind of where it started 2 years ago. And I think I literally made content on Instagram wearing their leggings like the next day. I've met so many people through Squatwolf as well. Like I said, anywhere I go, you know, a lot of the time in the gyms we'll recognize each other either from a Squatwolf campaign or what they were wearing something that we both have, and it just opens up a conversation. Just love the clothes as well. It's a bit of both. It's a bit of community, but also just feeling good in what I wear. Because for me, when I go to the gym, if I feel good in what I'm wearing, I lift good. That's how it is.
We go hikes for 20 days, 10 days, 15 days. So if I have 1 or 2 or 3 shirts that I can wash, rewear, use, and durable, and makes me feel comfortable, I'm good enough with 2 or 3 shirts instead of carrying so many shirts, especially with the Act Dry shirts. Because for hiking, gear is not only to look good. Comfort and durability is the most important thing to me.